Here, voluntary choirs are still waiting to unite in song in churches and halls across Cumbria. There was a brief moment of choral joy for them on the 17th of May with the latest easing of lockdown, when they were allowed to sing indoors again with more than 6 people. But the next day, government guidance was updated to say, actually, amateur choirs in England would have to wait until the 21st of June at the earliest to do it again. So outdoor singing, that's the way forward for now. And where better than on a bandstand? This is Lakeland Voices at the Birdcage in Kendal on Sunday.
Sun-warmed rocks and the cold of Lakeland's frozen sea, the snow and the wind and the rain of hills and mountains, days in the sun and the tempered wind and the air like wine, and you drink till you're drunk on the joy of living.
Lovely stuff, isn't it? Let's hear a bit more now from David Burbidge, who leads Lakeland Voices. David, good morning to you. You sound in fine voice there, I've got to say. How did choirs react, though, to the news that the guidance had changed again?
A lot of choirs around the country were very upset. I'm part of a network of choirs around the UK called the Natural Voice Network, and a lot of them were very upset and annoyed. But they've risen to the challenge, and they've been out there finding all sorts of interesting places to sing, including bandstands, like you heard on Sunday, but also tunnels. And I've got a friend in London, Ryan, who runs a choir where he goes into a big marquee which a pub had put up, and they go early in the morning before all the customers arrive and sing in there. So, but here in the Lake District, we've been singing on the hills for 30 years now. At this time of year, we go out, and we like to say that singing indoors is a crime because of COVID-19 restrictions. But also, it's a crime when you're on the edge of some of the most beautiful countryside in the world, certainly in Britain, and not to be out enjoying it on these evenings when it doesn't get dark until about 11 o'clock. So we've been out there singing in Borrowdale and in the Langdale valleys. We sing in Cathedral Cavern and in Rydal Caves. And we were very fortunate because in March the 29th, the government restriction allowed outdoor activity groups to be more than 6. So they could be up to 30, I think. And so cyclists and runners, but also hill walkers as a group were allowed to go out. And so that's what we did because we're a hill walking choir. We've been out singing since March the 29th. So that's partly why we're in such good voice on Sunday. We've had a lot of practice.
You've had plenty of practice because I believe usually, David, you'd rehearse in a Kendal Hall. That said, over the past 14 months or so, Zoom rehearsals, how were they? Were they any good? Were they much fun?
Well, during lockdown, we did Zoom rehearsals, and again, talking about other choirs a lot of them had backing tracks so that people the singers would be at home on their own, and they would sing along with the backing track and along with the leader. And what we thought in our choir, but what we wanted to do is to hear all the voices, not just one voice, because I don't know if you'll probably know this on Zoom, that if you're singing, if everybody sings at the same time on Zoom and have their microphones on, you get this incredibly discordant sound because there's so much lag in the way it's presented. So what we did was we would go around and people would take it in turns to sing a song, and then we'd have a lot of talk in between. So what it did, the value of Zoom for us, was that it kept our community alive. It kept the singers together. And I think in terms of mental health, this is why choirs are so important, because choirs are communities. People get very close together. They're making this beautiful music. They're harmonizing. And also they're socializing. You know, we go off and sing in our twin town in Slovenia, and we go off to Scotland and sing on the island of Jura. So we have holidays together, and we're very much of a community. And the Zoom allowed us to keep that together by us talking and singing together.
Good stuff, David. Thank you. David Burbidge of Lakeland Voices. Glad you're back singing together, being able to go outdoors and uphill and down dale. And shall we have another burst of them? Here they are once again in action on Sunday.
I'll be riding the gentle breeze as it blows through your hair, reminding you how we shared in the joy of living.
Wonderful stuff.
Hal-an-tow, jolly rumble-o, we were up long before the day-o, to welcome in the summer, to welcome in the May-o. For summer is a-coming in, and winter's gone away-o.
As choirs petition against restrictions on singing indoors, we're testing demand for the bandstand. It's a BH poll of your opinion, really. Should we be embracing the bandstand? The rule of 6 has been imposed for amateur choirs singing inside in England. There are different rules around the home nations, but there are a lot of restrictions. Rules on paid performances inside or out are strict on numbers, capacity and so on. So we wondered, should the bandstand be an answer? Let us know. Live to Kendal. First of all, let's meet Debbie Field, a soprano in the choir Lakeland Voices. Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning, Paddy.
I'm guessing that we've asked you to go outside. How many of there are you, and could you meet inside?
No, we definitely couldn't meet inside, and there are 15 of us here today.
And you're in which bandstand, and what are you going to do for us?
We're in the Birdcage bandstand in the middle of Kendal Town Centre, and we're going to sing a folk song for you, Hal-an-tow, which is a song for May, for singing in May, so it's very appropriate.
Yes, well, just as well we got you on the 30th. Have you...
Exactly.
I mean, people write to us very upset about the singing rules in England. Have you been full of anxiety about the rules?
No, because our choir is a very special choir that has always met outdoors as well as indoors. We go to beautiful places. We sing on hillsides and by waterfalls and in bluebell woods and by the lakeside. And David Burbage, who runs the choir, he's always done that right from the beginning, about 25 years ago. We also meet indoors. Well, we did meet indoors before COVID, once a week in a community centre in Kendal. But because we have a tradition of meeting outside, we've been able to continue that throughout most of the pandemic so far, although there were certain lockdowns where we were very much reliant on Zoom sessions.
No, they've been pretty miserable, but they've kept people going, but they're not the real thing. Do you think we're right to try and embrace the bandstand?
Absolutely, and in fact, I think you're a little bit behind the times here, because I know of some choirs who've been using bandstands for quite some time. Some friends meeting in small groups of 4, groups of 6, when we weren't allowed to be bigger than 6 or bigger than 4. So yes, it's definitely a fantastic resource, and there are underused bandstands all over the country. So I think it's a fantastic idea.
Great. Well, thanks for giving it your support from Kendal. So we are going to now listen to the Lakeland Voices, led by David Burbage from the Birdcage. Take it away, Debbie.
They're just getting ready to sing.
This is a song which Lakeland Voices sang when we hosted a choir festival here, and we had many people from our network, the Natural Voice Network, who were here, and we sang this song with about 40 choirs. Sing, John Ball.
Who will be the lady, who will be the Lord, when we are ruled by the love of one another? Who will be the lady, who will be the Lord, in the light that is coming in the morning? Sing, John Ball, and tell it to them all. Long live the day that is dawning. I'll crow like a cock, I'll carol like a lark, in the light that is coming in the morning. Eve is the lady, Adam is the Lord, when we are ruled by the love of one another. Eve is the lady, Adam is the Lord, in the light that is coming in the morning. Sing, John Ball, and tell it to them all. Long live the day that is dawning. I'll crow like a cock, I'll carol like a lark, in the light that is coming in the morning. fellowship I say. Labour and spin for the love of one another. Labour and spin for fellowship I say. In the light that is coming in the morning. Sing John Bull and tell it to them all. Long live the day that is dawning. I'll crow like a cock, I'll carol like a lark. In the light that is coming in the morning. All shall be ruled by fellowship I say. All shall be ruled by the love of one another. All shall be ruled by fellowship I say. In the light that is coming in the morning. Sing John Bull and
Well, they're in fine voice this morning, but if we're going to get to the archers, we'll leave them to the bystanders who we're hearing are gathering around the birdcage in Kendal, with many, many thanks for cheering us along the way.
Hal-an-tow, jolly rumble-o, we were up long before the day-o, to welcome in the summer, to welcome in the May-o. For summer is a-coming in, and winter's gone away-o. Hal-an-tow, jolly rumble-o, we were up long before the day-o, to welcome in the summer, to welcome in the May-o. For summer is a-coming in, and winter's gone away-o.